we're in a townhouse,
Hey,
one Time and place for the regular scheduled July 2022 Planning Commission meeting. I'd like to call us to order. Please call the roll.
Lawrence.
Here.
Ford.
Here.
Tate. Here. Culpepper.
Here.
Lynn. Here. Temple.
Here.
Burris.
Here.
Hyde.
Here.
Pepper.
Okay, we do have a quorum. Are there any corrections or additions to the minutes from the June Planning Commission meeting? Not, do I have a motion to accept them?
Motion approved. Second.
Okay, motion by Mr. Temple, second by Mr. Borden. All in favor state aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? These have been accepted. Okay, I'd like to take a moment and introduce the Planning Commission members and give a brief description of how this meeting is conducted. The commission has 9 members. 8 of us are volunteers appointed by the mayor for a 6-year term. We also have 1 member from the city council. My name is Kent Lawrence. Gary Borden is our vice chair. Dan Culpepper is our secretary. Francis Tate is a member. Forrest Temple, Myrna Burrows, Eddie Pike, and Joseph Wynn. Hunter Pepper is our council member who is not present today. Members of the public seeking to get an item considered by the Planning Commission must send an application to the Planning Department not less than 21 days prior to this meeting. Unless otherwise specified, all applications for development approvals are the result of submittals by a private citizen seeking some change to their own property. In making our decisions, a primary tool used by the Planning Commission is the One Decatur Comprehensive Plan. This is the general community plan for the city of Decatur and was adopted through a public process to formalize a vision for the future of the community that represents the interest and will of the Decatur residents. In many of these cases, the Planning Commission does not have the final say. Zonings, annexations, vacations, sidewalk cafes, all and other resolutions all require additional approval by the city council before they become official. In these cases, the role of the Planning Commission is to advise the city council. The first part of today's meeting is a public hearing. Each item will be read separately and voted on after comments. If you wish to make a comment on the item, we ask that you come forward to the microphone, state your name and address, and then make your comments. We ask that you keep your comments to 3 minutes or less. Today's public hearing will have these type requests. Pre-zoning. Section 11-52-85 makes provisions for municipalities to apply a zoning district to a property contiguous to the city limits with an agreement that property will be annexed within 6 months of the pre-zoning to be complete. This also moves to the city council. Rezoning. This is changing the current zoning of a property to a different zoning. The commission will vote to recommend or not recommend the zoning change to the city council. If an applicant wishes to go to city council without the recommendation of the Planning Commission, they should notify the Planning Department via email or in writing tomorrow. Minor plats. Minor plats are plats that have more than 3 lots, direct access to public services, and a topo provided for review. Preliminary plats. This is the second step of the subdivision process and will have construction plans included. So please read the first case.
The first case is pre-zoning 1398-22. It is 1.86 acres. Current zoning is none. The applicant is LBYD for Castle Rock Global Holdings, LLC. The location is south of 3102 Modus Road Southwest. The request is pre-zoning approval for 1.86 acres that will be part of a future subdivision. The new zoning will be R5 single-family patio homes. The proposed land use is single-family residential. One Decatur future land use is neighborhood commercial, and 1 Decatur street typology, Modus Road Southwest is a minor arterial. Comments from the zoning committee. The zoning committee was in favor of this request.
Is there anyone from the public that would wish to speak to this request?
I'm sorry, what was the address for it?
South of 3102 Modus Road.
Okay. Okay, being no public comment, do we have a motion to recommend this to the council?
Motion for approval. Second.
We have a motion by Mr. Borden, second by Mr. Temple. Any comments or questions from anyone on the commission? Please call the roll.
Lawrence.
Yes.
Gordon.
Yes.
Tate. Yes. Culpepper.
Yes.
Wynn. Yes. Temple.
Yes.
Burris.
Yes.
Pike.
Yes.
Okay, this request will be recommended with an 8-0 vote. Next case, please.
The next case is rezoning 139922. It is 53.44 acres, currently zoned Ag 1 and Ag 2. The applicant is LBYD for Castle Rock Global Holdings LLC. Location is 2845 Modus Road Southwest. The request is rezoning of 53.44 acres from Ag 1 and Ag 2 to R5. The new zoning would be R5 single-family patio homes. Proposed land use is single-family residential. 1 Decatur future land use is mixed neighborhood, and 1 Decatur street typology, Modus Road Southwest, is a minor arterial. Comments from the zoning committee. The zoning committee was in favor of this request.
Okay, is there anyone from the public wish to speak to this request? Okay, if not, do we have a motion to recommend approval?
Motion for approval.
Okay, okay, yeah, this is the one that, thank you, Forrest. This is the one I
okay.
wanted to add the points of
Yes.
information on. About that the city would need additional property for right-of-way for a 4-laning Modus Road, and that we would like for this subdivision to continue what the Quinn Oaks is doing with the 30-foot buffer in the front.
Yes.
So just add that to point of
Those 2
information.
points of information will be added, and we'll specify that those will be looked for at the plating stage.
Okay, I'll ask again if anybody from the public would like to comment on this. Did I call for the motion already?
Yes.
Okay, I did. So any other comments from the commission? Please call the roll.
You, yeah.
Second.
He did.
Okay.
Francis. Yeah.
Mr. Pike and now Mr.
Okay.
Tate.
Okay,
Francis.
so we got it? You got it? You got it?
Who was the first?
Eddie.
Okay.
Pay attention, Michelle.
Lawrence.
I think it's my fault. Yes.
Gordon.
Yes.
You interrupted it.
Culpepper.
Yes.
Wynn. Temple.
Yes.
Burris.
Yes.
Okay, that will be recommended to the council with 8-0 vote also. Okay?
The next case is rezoning 1422. This is 34 acres, currently zoned Ag 1. The applicant is Pewright McAnally for Greystone Properties and Land Services LLC. Location is west of Central Avenue and south of Pool Valley Road. The request is a rezoning of 34 acres from Ag 1 to PRD 7. The new zoning would be PRD 7, that is Planned Residential District. The proposed land use is single-family residential. 1 Decatur future land use is residential low density. 1 Decatur street typology, Central Avenue Southwest, is a minor arterial. Comments from the zoning committee. The zoning committee was in favor of this request.
There's no conditions. All right, anyone from the public wish to comment on this request? Okay, if not, do we have a motion to recommend to council approval?
Motion for approval. Second.
A motion by Mr. Borden, second by Mr. Temple. Any comments or questions from anyone on the commission? Please call the roll.
Lawrence,
Yes.
Gordon,
Yes.
Tate. Yes. Culpepper,
Yes.
Wynn. Yes. Temple,
Yes.
Burris,
Yes.
Pike.
Yes.
Okay, this request will be recommended with an 8-0 vote. All right.
The next item is Bank Street Station. It is 1.89 acres, currently zoned B5 General Business and M1 Light Manufacturing. The applicant is Pewright McAnally for Decatur Urban Ventures. The location is 423 Bank Street Northwest. Request is a minor plat approval. Proposed land use is residential. One Decatur future land use is urban core downtown. And one Decatur street typology, Bank Street is a minor arterial. Conditions to be met: 1, a completed application; 2, a copy of the deed; 3, add a north arrow and scale to the plat; and 4, DU will need an additional 5-foot easement on the street frontage on Kane Street Northwest and Railroad Street Northwest. Point of information, any relocation of utilities will be at the owner's expense. And 2, a rezoning request may be needed since there are 2 different zonings on these parcels.
Okay, anyone wish to speak to this request? If not, do we have a motion to approve this plat?
Motion for approval.
I have a second.
Second.
Okay, motion by Mr. Pike, second by Mr. Temple. Any comments or questions from the commission? Please call the roll.
Lawrence,
Yes?
Gordon,
Yes.
Tate. Yes. Culpepper,
Yes.
Wynn.
Yes.
Temple,
Yes.
Burris.
Yes.
Pike.
Yes.
Okay, this plat is approved 8-0.
The next item is River Road Estates Phase 3. It is approximately 14 acres, currently zoned R3 Single Family Residential. Applicant is Pewright McAnally for Old House LLC. Location is 3034 Lisa Lane Southeast. Request is preliminary plat approval. Proposed land use is residential. The One Decatur future land use is mixed neighborhood, and the One Decatur street typology, Lisa Lane Southeast, is a local street. Conditions to be met: signed sealed construction drawings approved by DU and engineering, and 2 per engineering approval. Point of information, any relocation of utilities will be at the owner's expense.
Okay, anyone from the public wish to comment on this request? Okay, do we have a motion to approve this plat?
Motion for approval. Second.
Motion by Mr. Pike, second by Mr. Borden. Any comments or questions from the commission? Please call the roll.
Lawrence,
Yes.
Gordon,
Yes.
Tate. Yes. Culpepper.
Yes.
Wynn. Yes. Temple,
Yes.
Burris.
Yes.
Pike.
Yes.
This plat has been approved 8-0. Okay, the next part of today's meeting is the consent agenda.
I
This
have
is,
one more.
oh, I'm sorry, we got one more? Oh, my bad. Stuck it in the wrong place. Go ahead.
The next item is Quinn Oak Farm. It is 80.86 acres, currently zoned R5 single-family residential patio homes and R6 single-family semi-attached townhomes. The applicant is Pewright McAnally for Deluxton Development LLC. Location is 2705 Modus Road Southwest. The request is a preliminary plat approval. Proposed land use is single-family residential. One Decatur future land use is mixed neighborhood. One Decatur street typology, Modus Road Southwest, is a minor arterial. Conditions to be met: 1, signed sealed construction drawings approved by DU and engineering. Something to note on that is we have already received those since preparing this, so you'll be voting to place that condition, but we will already have the items to clear it once. Condition 2, work with the planning department on the names of the streets to conform to the naming convention of the city. 3, per DU approval. Point of information, 1, any relocation of utilities will be at the owner's expense. And 2, due to changes of the layout since the original rezoning request, another rezoning request may be required to align the zoning district boundaries with the new lot configurations.
Okay, anyone from the public wish to comment on this request? Yes, ma'am, if you'll come forward. Yes, if you'll just come to this podium and state your name and address first, please.
This is my first time to ever be here, so y'all be patient. It's Laura Parham, and you asked for address?
Yes,
It's
ma'am.
2701 Asheville Drive, Southwest, here in town, 35603.
Okay.
I gotta look at my phone so I don't forget. So I'm the house that's, if you're on Modus, you turn left onto Asheville, the first house on the right. So we've been there over 10 years and we've enjoyed, because I'm a country girl, I grew up in Priceville, having that pasture out there. My only concern is my oldest daughter, who will be a senior at Austin, depending on traffic, of course, making a left there can be time consuming because we don't have a traffic light. So that's probably my only concern. I know she's got a handful of friends that live in the same subdivision. So and I don't know if y'all know that. I don't know, will Modus be widened? Will they put a traffic light? That's probably my only concern, is just the safety. It's already busy. It was busy, and then you put the high school there, it made it worse. So then to add more folks behind us, you're just looking at more traffic. So I just didn't know if anyone knew what the plans are, if they would widen Modus and put a traffic light.
Yeah, the plan is to widen Modus.
Okay.
The council has actually already approved the funds to engineer that. So to answer your question, yes.
Okay, well, I think that's all I had.
Okay, thank you
y'all.
very much.
Okay, thanks.
Anyone else?
Another thing, if I could add to that to note about this one, is there's an existing traffic light here that will be modified to a full four-way traffic light. So there will be a signalized intersection here adding.
And would you also point out how the two connect?
So there is a connection, and it will actually be made in this phase to the existing, and that will get any traffic that wishes to use that signalized intersection through the neighborhood and out to that, so they can make a controlled left turn out of this area. And as was stated, the engineering is ongoing, and those designs are underway. We should know soon exactly what the final design of that roadway is going to look like.
So we really feel like we're improving the traffic situation.
There's an existing stub there called Bentley Drive that has been there since that phase of Dunbarton was completed. It's just been sitting there waiting for this next to go, and so they will be connecting to that there. Allowing interconnectivity of the subdivisions, that's one of the big pushes we've been making lately, is making sure that we're not platting closed subdivisions with one way in, one way out. Interconnectivity balances the traffic flow a lot better. Plus, an added benefit here is getting the ability for some Dunbarton residents to get to that signalized intersection now.
Chairman Watts, just to clarify, she asked if there was a light and widening. There is widening of the road, but we did not answer the light. There's not gonna.
There is a light that will be modified. There's an existing light here.
Right,
This
but
is
not at Asheville.
not at Asheville, no. It'll be down, there's the existing light at Jack Allen Recreation Complex. And that's where the new main entrance to this subdivision will be. And there will be the light will be modified there for a full four-way lighted intersection.
Okay. Any other comments from the public? Okay, do we have a motion to approve this preliminary plat?
Motion for approval. Second.
A motion by Mr. Borden, second by Mr. Pike. Any comments or questions from the commission? Please call the roll.
Lawrence.
Yes?
Borden.
Yes.
Tate.
Yes.
Culpepper.
Yes.
Wynn,
Yes.
Temple,
Yes.
Burris,
Yes.
Pike.
Yes.
Okay, this preliminary plat is approved 8-0. Okay, now we move into the consent agenda portion of the meeting. This is the part of the agenda that the Planning Commission has the final decision on and does not require a public hearing. These items are read together and voted on as a group. Today, we have these types of requests, and all we have are site plans. These are proposed developments on the Collector Street or above. Plans show building placement, parking, circulation, landscaping, etc. So,
All right. Site plan 64122 is .56 acres, currently zoned B4 Regional Shopping. Applicant is Purite McAnally for Cole Valley Partners. Location is 1805 Beltline Road Southwest. The request is site plan approval. Proposed land use is commercial, a coffee shop. One Decatur future land use is regional mixed use. And One Decatur street typology, Beltline Road Southwest, is a principal arterial. Conditions to be met: 1, signed ALDOT affidavit needed. 2, lighting plan values on adjacent parcels needed. 3, all pages need to be signed and sealed. 4, parking calculation is needed. 5, verify that no part of the building extends into the 60-foot setback. 6, per engineering approval. Point of information: any relocation of utilities will be at the owner's expense. We will need to have a copy of a cross-access easement for ingress and egress onto Mall Perimeter Road. And 3, DU grease interceptor requirements will need to be met for this development. All right, the next item is site plan 64222. It is 4.64 acres, currently zoned B6 Office District. Applicant is Purite McAnally for Morgan County Health Department. Location is 3821 Highway 31 South. Request is site plan approval. Proposed land use is commercial office facility. The One Decatur future land use is Flex Employment Center. And One Decatur street typology, Highway 31 South, is a principal arterial. Conditions to be met: signed ALDOT affidavit is needed, and 2 parking calculations are needed. Point of information: any relocation of utilities will be at the owner's expense. And the next is site plan 64322. It is 2.3 acres, currently zoned B2 General Business. Applicant is Purite McAnally for Allen Lohman. Location is 1822 Milligan Street Southwest. The request is site plan approval. Proposed land use is commercial, a mini storage. One Decatur future land use is neighborhood commercial. And One Decatur street typology, Milligan Street Southwest, is a local street. Conditions to be met: 1, landscaping plan needed. 2, lighting plan needed. 3, per DU approval. And 4, per engineering approval. Point of information: any relocation of utilities will be at the owner's expense.
hey, is there anyone from the public that would wish to comment to any of these 3 site plans? Hey, do we have a motion to approve site plans?
Motion for approval?
Second.
Motion by Mr. Pike, second by Mr. Borden. Any comments or questions from anyone on the commission? Please call the roll.
Lawrence.
Yes?
Gordon.
Yes.
Tate.
Yes.
Culpepper.
Yes.
Wynn.
Yes.
Temple.
Yes.
Burris.
Yes.
Pike.
Yes.
Okay, all these site plans are approved 8-0. Okay, we have items under other business that will be voted on individually. These items include annexation. This is adding unincorporated land contiguous to the city limits to our city boundaries. And bond review. This is to review a bond to see if it can be adjusted to a lower amount based on work completed, or to review if an expiring bond will be extended or not. Once it is determined or all requirements are met, a bond will be released and the file will be closed. Okay.
All right, the First one is annexation 37122. It is 1.86 acres. Current zoning is none. The applicant is LBYD Incorporated for Castle Rock Global Holdings LLC. Location is south of 3102 Modus Road Southwest. The request is to annex 1.86 acres. Proposed land use is single-family residential, patio homes. One Decatur future land use is neighborhood commercial, and one Decatur street typology, Modus Road Southwest, is a minor arterial. There are no conditions to be met, and a point of information, any relocation of utilities will be at the owner's expense.
Does anyone wish to make a comment on this request? If not, do we have a motion to recommend to the council to approve this annexation?
Motion to approve. Second.
Motion by Mr. Temple, second by Mr. Borden. Any comments or questions from the commission? Please call the roll.
Lawrence,
Yes.
Gordon,
Yes.
Tate,
Yes.
Culpepper,
Yes.
Wynn, Temple,
Yes.
Burris,
Yes.
Pike.
Yes.
This annexation will be recommended to the council with an 8-0 vote.
All right, the next is annexation 37222. It is 0.78 acres. Current zoning is none. Applicant is David Burnett. Location is 4318 Central Avenue Southwest. The request is to annex 0.78 acres. Proposed land use is single-family residential. One Decatur future land use is mixed neighborhood, and one Decatur street typology, Central Avenue Southwest, is a minor arterial. No conditions to be met. Point of information, any relocation of utilities will be at the owner's expense, and there will be no sewer available at this location.
Anyone from the public wish to speak toward this annexation? We have a motion to recommend to council.
Motion to approve. Second.
Motion by Mr. Borden, second by Mr. Temple. Any comments or questions? Please call the roll.
Lawrence,
Yes.
Gordon,
Yes.
Tate,
Yes.
Culpepper,
Yes.
Wynn, Temple,
Yes.
Burris,
Yes.
Pike.
Yes.
This annexation will also be recommended 8-0.
The next item is Deerfoot Estates Addition 5 Bond Review. It's approximately 7.64 acres. Current zoning is R2 Single Family Residential, and the applicant is IRA Innovations LLC. Location is north of Deerfoot Way Southwest and east of Covington Lane Southwest. The request is for Planning Commission approval to accept a replacement bond from the new owner, extension of the previous bond, or to call the bond if a new bond cannot be produced by August 1st, 2022.
Any comments from the public? Do we have a motion to approve?
Motion to. Second.
Motion by Mr. Wynn, second by Mr. Borden. Any comments or questions? Please call the roll.
Lawrence,
Yes?
Gordon,
Yes.
Tate,
Yes.
Culpepper,
Yes.
Wynn, Temple,
Yes.
Burris,
Yes.
Pike.
Yes.
Okay, this action is approved 8-0.
The next item is Legacy Cove Phase 1 Bond Review. It is 41.1 acres. Current zoning is R5. The applicant is Land Services LLC. Location is 2514 Point Mallard Drive Southeast. The request is to approve the release of irrevocable letter of credit number 555805 in the amount of $205,000 for completion of base, paving, and gutter improvements for Legacy Cove Subdivision. Proposed land use is residential. One Decatur future land use is riverfront mixed use, and one Decatur street typology. Point Mallard Drive is a city connector. And we have received confirmation that these improvements have been completed.
Okay, and engineering confirms that? Okay, that's a yes. Any comments from anyone in the public? Do we have a motion to approve
Motion for approval.
Second.
Motion by Mr. Pike, second by Mr. Borden. Any questions or comments? Please call the roll.
Lawrence.
Yes?
Gordon.
Yes.
Tate.
Yes.
Culpepper.
Yes.
Wynn.
Yes.
Temple.
Yes.
Burris.
Yes.
Pike.
Yes.
Okay, this bond has been voted 8-0 to be released.
Next item is Legacy Cove Phase 1 Bond Review, 41.1 acres, currently zoned R5. Applicant is Land Services LLC, location 2514 Point Mallard Drive Southeast. The request is to approve the release of irrevocable letter of credit number 555806 in the amount of $50,000 for completion of sidewalk improvements for Legacy Cove Subdivision. Proposed land use is residential. One Decatur future land use is riverfront mixed use. And One Decatur street typology, Point Mallard Drive is a city connector. And we have also received confirmation.
Confirmation from,
What are the sidewalk improvements? Cuts? It's not the actual installation, right?
The sidewalk, it is installation of sidewalks.
Installation where there's not a current house that's gonna be built.
The houses, those sections of the sidewalk in front of the houses are not built until the house is completed, but that is a condition of getting their certificate of occupancy. And this is for sections that do not front any house.
any comments from the public? We have a motion to approve.
Motion for approval.
Second. Motion by Mr. Borden, second by Mr. Temple. Any questions or comments? Please call the roll.
Lawrence.
Yes?
Gordon.
Yes.
Tate.
Yes.
Culpepper.
Yes.
Wynn.
Yes.
Temple.
Yes.
Burris.
Yes.
Pike.
Yes.
This bond review has been approved 8-0.
All right, the next is Morris Holdings LLC bond review. Is approximately 116.94 acres. Current zoning is R3 and R6. Applicant is Morris Holdings LLC. Location is east of Old River Road, north-southeast, and north of Upper River Road. The request is a reduction of Morris Holdings LLC letter of credit from $80,000 to $40,000. Letter of credit is for sanitary sewer extension on Upper River Road. Proposed land use is single-family residential. One Decatur future land use is mixed neighborhood, and One Decatur street typology, Old River Road Southeast is a urban collector. And we have confirmed that they have met the conditions per the development agreement for this reduction to take place.
Any comments from the public? We have a motion to approve.
Motion for approval.
Second.
Motion by Mr. Pike, second by Mr. Borden. Any comments or questions? Please call the roll.
Lawrence.
Yes.
Gordon.
Yes.
Tate.
Yes.
Culpepper.
Yes.
Wynn.
Yes.
Temple.
Yes.
Burris.
Yes.
Pike.
Yes.
Okay, this reduction has been approved 8-0.
All right, and the next item is River Road Estates Phase 2 bond review. It's 15.37 acres, currently zoned R3. Applicant is Old House LLC. Location is approximately 3200 Old River Road Southeast. The request is approval of irrevocable letter of credit release in the amount of $660,000 for completion of all improvements for River Road Estates Phase 2. Proposed land use is single-family residential, and One Decatur future land use mixed neighborhood. One Decatur street typology, Old River Road Southeast is a urban collector. There is a condition to be met on this one. This will be per engineering approval for some cleanup items that need to be done before the full release is given.
Any comments from the public? Is there a motion to approve? Second. Motion by Mr. Wynn, second by Mr. Temple. Any comments or questions? Please call the roll.
Lawrence.
Yes?
Gordon.
Yes.
Tate.
Yes.
Culpepper.
Yes.
Wynn.
Yes.
Temple.
Yes.
Burris.
Yes.
Pike.
Yes.
This bond has been, review has been approved 8-0 with engineering approval.
Mr. Chairman,
Yes.
there are two items that I do need to address here at the end of the meeting, if I can have a minute.
Okay?
Last month, y'all approved for the formation of the short-term rentals committee and allowed us to start selecting the membership for that based on criteria approved in that resolution. Due to some unforeseen complications, we weren't able to get that together for this month's meeting. We're hopeful we'll have that for you at next month's meeting. Shouldn't affect the timeline of getting that process completed, but it's just taken us a little longer than we anticipated. So look for that at next month's meeting.
Okay.
The second item is we have finally, at long last, received the public review draft of the zoning ordinance rewrite. This is both modules, all sections, all done, the full draft ready for public review. We have placed it on the website, onedecatur.org, which is where all of this has been organized through this process. It is available there now for download and review, and there is a comment form on that website to submit comments from the public on that document. This will be out for public review for at least a period of 30 days roughly, and we are looking now to schedule a public meeting, a public hearing on that draft for this body and the city council with the consultant. That'll be the consultant on site to be able to answer questions directly about this rewrite. That will happen at the end of this comment period, tentatively around August 18th, but we'll be firming that date up in the next few days, and we'll be getting with everyone to confirm that date. But the important thing to note is it is on the website and available for public comment now. And if anyone here on the commission, you can go to that website, like I said, onedecatur.org, and download a copy for yourselves. Or if you would like a printed copy, let us know. We'll print you one out and get it to you for your review.
And I'd like to just add to that, you know, we will be the first step of approving this acceptance of this rewrite. And everyone on the commission really should read the rewrite and make their comments. I will say it's a very large document. So the sooner you start, the better off it is. So there are a lot of changes, and there probably are some things that will still have to be changed. Hopefully not, and hopefully not much. But I do encourage every member of the planning commission to read it and make your comments to the document.
And like I said, if any of you need a printed copy, just let us know. We'll make sure we get one printed for you and bound and brought to you.
All right, if there's no other business, we are adjourned.